everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today I am back with a speed build, and this is actually part of a very short series I had just started earlier in the week, where I created a video where I tried to create the same house with a 10-minute time limit, and then again with a 30-minute time limit to see how I could improve it in that amount of time. So basically a 10-minute build challenge, and then I tried again with the same concept with 30 minutes. And so many of you asked me to go ahead and try building that house again and adding more to it with an unlimited time frame. So that is exactly what we are doing here today. So the general shape and layout is very much inspired by that original build. So I will link that video down below and in the card up in the corner if you would like to check that out. It was a really fun real-time build of having those time limits. This one I just did it as a speed build, and I spent hours on this, and I'm really happy with how it came out. I was really happy with the 30-minute one in particular, whereas, the 10-minute one was a little rough, but I think that this version is by far the best, and I was actually able to extend this to be a 2-bedroom house, whereas the 10 and 30-minute builds were only a 1-bedroom house. So yeah, if you do like this version of the build, it will be available on the Sims 4 gallery. You can find it under my EA ID, which is Gryphi, Gryphi. There will also be a hashtag Gryphi, and that info is in the description down below. I will say this pack or this build uses like all of the packs, and since I was going and rebuilding this now after the newest kits came out, which I haven't gotten to explore too much yet because I was away at TwitchCon when they came out, I really wanted to use them. So the sim that lives here, one of the parents, is going to be an artist, and I, of course, gave them a nursery for a little infant using the new Storybook Nursery kit, which is so cute. So you'll see that on the interior, but I still kept the general vibes that I had going in the 30-minute version and just tried to expand on them. And I think it ends up being a really cute house, and I liked the idea of returning to this after, originally only spending 10 and 30 on it. But right now I am adding some flower boxes. I do also change the front ever so slightly, add some extensions, make the house ever so slightly bigger, so there's a little bit more space. Like I said, there's an additional bedroom as well. And I added some brick details to split up the siding so that it wasn't so bland. I also added some vertical green siding on the roof portions, which I thought looked really nice. And then we're just moving the house on the lot. There ends up being a decent sized backyard. It's not really big, but it does have space for a couple of kids' activities and a table and a grill and that kind of thing. So I will decorate that towards the end of the video. But right now we are starting to work on landscaping. I do end up having a more structured garden bed. I used a low-lying fence over here. I thought I was going to use this one at first, but I didn't like how it looked. It was a little bit too tall and it clipped on the inside of the house. So I will be changing it to a different fence, but I am just grabbing some plants here and trying to figure out which ones I want to use in this space. I was really into the blues. The house ends up being green and brick on the outside, and then on the inside, it's a lot of blues, greens, browns, and a little bit of yellow. And I think it just ends up being a really cool color scheme. I've been having so much fun exploring with color over the last couple of months. I know I've done a couple of series and one-off videos that were entirely about color. So I did the Color Drenched series. I also did an apartment using CMYK. It is still on my list to do RGB. The only reason I'm a little bit hesitant on that is, well, I guess it's 2 reasons. One is red, green, blue is going to be very difficult to pair together without it looking overwhelming. So I think I'm going to have to use those 3 colors as the main accent colors in a space, but have lots of neutrals throughout as well. Bring in some nice warm wood tones, or cool wood tones, but basically wood tones. And then the other thing is, I feel like when you hear RGB, you think of RGB gamer lights. At least that's one of the first things a lot of people think of. So I'm not sure how I want to tackle that, but that is still on my list. I'm hoping to do that sometime soon. And of course, some more state builds. I have some ideas. I was so happy with how the California one turned out that I posted last week. Thank you so much for your support on that. And yeah, just rambling a little bit about some video ideas. But getting back to this actual build, you can see the floor plan is very similar. I was just able to move the bathroom so it is a little bit more interior, so I could fit an additional bedroom in this space. And the living room is actually a lot bigger. So I was able to move where I put the desk area originally and add a whole artist space. And of course, if you are not familiar with this house, you didn't watch the originals, and which I suggest you do, like I said, they are linked down below. Um, it's just a really simple house with a living room when you first walk in. I was really excited to use this new light from the Artist Studio kit. I think it is so pretty. Some of the swatches have a lot of paint on them, and those are going to be really nice for actual artist studios, but I thought that this one was beautiful for this space. I feel like I'm going to use it a lot because it's very much an industrial style light, which is one of my favorite styles in the game. So I added that, as well as the new shelf that looks like a stepladder covered in all sorts of clutter. And then this little area in the front is going to be where we do some art. So I got the new easel. I also grabbed a stand you can put some stuff on, but I didn't keep it in the end. I believe I put something similar outside later because I do have a second easel in the backyard. But I wanted a space that I could put some paintbrushes on because that's another new item. So I used this side table from Laundry Day, I'm pretty sure. And then I have some canvases, a plant over here, and I put some sketches up on the wall as well. I had to scale them down to make sure they fit. And I thought, a paint splatter on the floor was realistic. It's not ideal. You definitely don't want to get that on the ground, but I thought it was kind of a fun addition. I also added a playmat for the infant and a diaper bag and a cushion over here on this chair. And I'm actually going to be adding a second chair as well. It just felt like it needed something over there. But first I'm getting a painting over here and doing this trick I like to do, which is the cats and dogs paintings that I used over there only come in a black swatch. But the painting from Tiny Living, if you place it over it, you see the artwork from Cats and Dogs, but you get the frame from Tiny Living. So I do that sometimes to change the frame color, and I think it's a really cool trick. Anyway, this is where I have a little office nook. I just decorate this desk pretty simply. I end up having some books and a journal open. I believe a hand, model thing that you can use as a reference for drawing, since I was imagining the sim was an artist, and a little plant over here. I also ended up getting a toy box, and then we were moving on into the kitchen. I did use the same counters I used in the original build, which are the ones here, which are from For Rent. I think they are so pretty. Also, the tiles in here I just think are gorgeous. I did rearrange the layout in here ever so slightly, and it ended up actually being a little bit bigger than the original kitchen because of how I extended the house. And I was able to fit a 3-seater table in here, as well as have some island seating as well. One thing I didn't add is a high chair, but you could add that if you'd like to. I think your infants need to learn to sit up to be in the high chair anyway, so you have some time. I did, however, add a toddler potty into the bathroom, so if your Sims want to work on potty training at some point, that is there. The other thing that I added, but I feel like I should have added more, is I did add a couple of pet food bowls in the kitchen, which you'll see in a little bit here, but I didn't add anything else. I kind of was imagining they had a dog, but then I didn't add any dog stuff other than that. So if you want a cat, you could add a litter box, or you could add some dog toys around, or a dog bed. There are options, but I just thought it was a cute spot to put the pet bowls. And then for some reason, I didn't think about it again. That happens a lot for some reason with pets. In real life, they are such a huge part of my life, but in The Sims, I always forget about them, and I don't know why that is. But anyway, I did get a coffee pot over here, and I also tucked the shelves from the Cool Kitchen pack up into the cabinetry, and then getting a little flower on the table and a mat to stand on by the sink. Over here, I get a trash can and the parenting board, because at some point, these Sims are going to have to parent that child. They're going to parent all the time, but the actual parenting skill and curfews and all of that stuff, which will be once the child is a child, not an infant. So that will be useful at some point in time. And then I got a corkboard over here with a calendar on it, and I got a couple of plates over on this hutch. And that should be it for the kitchen. And we're moving back into the living room because I didn't decorate this wall yet. I wanted to use the same side table and mirror that I used in my 30-minute version, so I'm putting those here, but I added way more clutter in this area. And I also added some toys in this space because I just wanted it to feel very family friendly and like they're ready to raise kids here. So I have this stuffed animal here. There's a toy box. There's a couple of toys around. And I believe I put diapers and stuff out here as well, because that's a pretty realistic thing to have out and about. I also put a rug at the entryway as well as a welcome mat outside. And then the hallway, I just used this really pretty cabinet piece from Horse Ranch for towel storage. I thought it was so cute. It matched the walls perfectly, so I really enjoyed that. And then we should be decorating the primary bedroom. I did cut out the indecision in this room. You'll see one of the beds that I tried to use, but I tried like 7 different beds and different color schemes and different vibes. And no matter what I did, it didn't feel like it matched the rest of the house until I grabbed this bed from For Rent, and I think it came together so much better. So I ended up using this and pairing it with some side tables from Cottage Living and one of my favorite side lamps in the game. I think those ones are from, oh goodness, is it Seasons perhaps? I also added this alarm clock over here. I was kind of imagining it could be a baby monitor. I thought that that was a cute idea since it is a little cutesy compared to the rest of the room. And then just getting some basic clutter on the bedside tables. I also get a window up above the bed and a really pretty mirror over on the other wall, as well as some space to hang up some family portraits. And then there is a dresser over here. I also end up having a chair and a record player in here as well. And a plant, of course. I just kind of tuck plants in corners when it feels like something's empty. I know a lot of us do that. That's a very common thing in The Sims. And then the dresser here just has like some jewelry, a plant, a couple of little lotions and things like that. And we are moving into the nursery. I was so excited to use this kit. I think it is so cute. I love the green swatch. It matched really well with the rest of this house. I did think about using the floral pattern on that rug, which I will eventually use, but I couldn't not use this one. The swatch with the animals on it is just so cute, and it worked so nicely with the green color. So I ended up using that in the end and got lots of toys in here. We have the new mobile and the canopy over the bed. We also got the new dollhouse, which is modeled after the goth house. I do change its swatch to be more of a like creamish color because I don't have a very dark color scheme in here. So I thought it fit a little bit better that way. And I am painting some of the walls and using this really pretty tree decal from Growing Together. I felt like it matched perfectly since it has little critters climbing up it. I also added some more things like that on the wall. So there's an owl over the crib as well as a height chart that has a really cute bear. And then I have a bunch of toys kind of clustered over by the entry of the room. And I also got this basket up here, up above the changing table that also has a little animal in it. I changed the swatch a few different times, but I'm pretty sure I ended on the pig one in the end. And there's a little llama up there as well. So just decorating that space. And then I got a moon over here and I believe some clouds over above this area where I hung up some baby clothes, which is also a new item from the nursery kit. I think it is so cute. It's nice to have hanging items that are actually for babies instead of adults because we do have quite a few hanging clothes now. We originally got them with Dream Home Decorator, but we've also got them in Horse Ranch in high school years and maybe other packs. I'm not sure if I'm forgetting any, but this is the bathroom, the only one in this house. We have the toddler potty there, and I think this bathroom ends up looking pretty realistic. I did use this base game shelf and I cluttered it up. I haven't done that in a really long time, so I was really happy with that decision. So there's some extra diapers and lotion and a hairdryer and things like that in here. I also have like extra toilet paper on the back of the toilet, and I am using this red shelf here to help me clutter. It is a piece of CC, but I don't leave it in the build. It's just something I use to help me place things at more precise levels. It's always linked in the description if you are curious. And then just adjusting the lighting in here because the candles make the lighting kind of weird. I also go through towards the end here and switch all of the lamps in the different rooms. I kept the saucer lights in some of the spaces and other ones I just completely replaced with the base game light that I decided to use that feels like a realistic lighting fixture you would see in a house like this. So just going through and fixing that now. I like to put down the saucer lights because it's so much easier to see and I generally prefer that lighting. But I do like to have fixtures as well, and I'm trying to remember to do that more because that's something I forget to do in builds a lot. So that was something I did here, and then we are just getting some more landscaping in the backyard, and I'm going to add some activities back there as well. So just getting some low-lying plants, and then I added another flower bed over here. So just filling that out and then going to fill it with dirt, and then I should be adding the couple activities I have back here. I ended up getting some planters for your Sims to do some gardening, as well as an additional easel if your Sims would like to work on their painting skill outside, and a couple of things for the babies. So I did get the toddler pool from Seasons, as well as the toddler slide. I think the one I used is from Growing Together, but there is one from the toddler stuff pack as well. And yeah, over here in the art area, I just used some more clutter from the new kit, as well as the artist table from base game. Also added some blocks for babies to play with, a couple of like little kid toys. And then I am working on some more terrain paint in the backyard and around the whole lot. I also decided to extend the pavement here. It just made a little bit more sense. So I did that. So I will get rid of the landscaping by the easel. And that is pretty much it for this build. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more and click that bell to be notified when I upload. Also, a massive thank you to my YouTube members for your support. Make sure you check out that link down below or the join button if you would like to become a member yourself. And with that, we are heading on into screenshots. Please enjoy those, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.